Have you ever had a door close so loudly that it felt like your whole life went silent? I was 6 years old when I believed my life was supposed to be simple. I believed my childhood would unfold the way it does for most kids, growing, learning, and discovering the world one small step at a time. And then the world paused. COVID didn't just stop school, it stopped life. And in all of that mess, my father received a job offer to China. It wasn't easy. It wasn't sudden. It was one of those adult decisions that carry weight, the kind that changes everyone's life, even the ones too young to understand it. Soon, my family and I found ourselves starting over in a new place, adjusting to a different rhythm of life, and that's where something inside me began to shrink. I started a new American school in Amidst. I wanted friends, I wanted to belong, but instead, I learned how fast a voice can disappear when it's constantly told to be quiet. I was laughed at, shushed, corrected for being too much. The bright 6-year-old girl slowly grew older, but her confidence didn't go with her. Somewhere along the way, it quietly disappeared. During that time, my mother chose courage over comfort. She decided to continue her education and study psychology, a choice that helped her understand not only the world, but also me. 2 years later, our journey led us to a new city, Dubai. I was 10 years old, and for the first time, I wasn't scared of leaving. I wanted out, I wanted light, I wanted air. My first day at my new school felt unreal. Big hallways, happy faces, kindness that didn't feel conditional. I loved it, but loving something doesn't mean you're healed. I was shy, careful, still rebuilding the parts of me that had been taken quietly. Over time, I found people who didn't ask me to be smaller. Friends who stayed, friends who argued, misunderstood, and learned how to fix things together. In grade 5, we created something special, a dress for our exhibition. It wasn't just fabric and design. It was proof that I could create, trust, and belong again. Grade 6 came. I was stable. I was happy. For 2 years in Dubai, I finally believed the doors had stopped closing. And that's where another one did. My family decided to move to China, not because they wanted to leave everything behind, but because they wanted to be together. Because sometimes love asks for sacrifice. I didn't see it that way. I saw loss, I saw distance, I saw another goodbye, another reset, another version of myself I would have to rebuild. The night before school, I cried in a way I never had before, not loud, not dramatic, quiet, heavy. At school, people were kind, but kindness doesn't replace home. For months, I survived the days instead of living them. My grades collapsed. I stopped raising my hands, stopped talking, stopped existing in rooms. For a while, I convinced myself that staying silent was easier than trying to be heard. When winter break came again and I returned to my country where I belong, it felt like breathing after being underwater too long. And finally, when I tried to explain how I felt, my emotions were dismissed as an exaggeration. And in that moment, I realized something painful. Being misunderstood can feel even heavier than being alone. After a full year of shutting down, we moved again, this time to Sharjah during summer break. A villa, a better place, they said. But by then, I had learned something dangerous. I had learned that the easiest way to protect myself was to stop feeling at all, to build walls instead of stepping to the unknown. But life doesn't move forward that way. To live in a brave new now, you have to be willing to risk feeling again, even when it's uncomfortable. And deep down, I knew another change was coming. I knew I wouldn't return to my old school in Dubai. I knew China was still waiting. So instead of crying, I did something else. I joked, I smiled, I pretended, until my mother said a single sentence that changed everything. There'll be another girl in your class. She's from Kuwait. I didn't realize it yet, but that was one of the doors opening. When I walked into school, memories rushed at me, but this time I chose to look up instead of down. And then I noticed there wasn't one, but 2 new girls. In that moment, something shifted. Suddenly, the place where I once felt invisible felt familiar, shared language, culture, and understanding. And slowly, the girl who thought she had lost her voice began to speak again. Today, I have friends all over the world, in places I once believed broke me. China didn't end me, it matured me. A message I want to share is, a closed door doesn't mean you weren't enough. It means life is expanding you beyond what you imagined. Every goodbye shaped me, every move strengthened me, every silent moment taught me how to listen to myself, and every new beginning pushed me into a brave new now, where the future feels uncertain but full of possibilities. So when a door closes, and it will, don't stand there forever asking why. Turn around, because somewhere behind you, 10 more doors are already open. Thank you.